Have you ever wondered what's holding you back from living your best life after 70? Is it possible that, despite all the wisdom you've gained, there are still things weighing you down, both physically and emotionally? In today's video, we're diving into 8 things you need to let go of to unlock the peace, freedom, and happiness you truly deserve. This isn't just about decluttering your home, it's about decluttering your life. Whether it's releasing physical clutter, toxic relationships, or outdated beliefs, each step you take toward simplifying your world is a step toward a more fulfilling and joyful future. You might be surprised at how small changes can lead to big results, and by the end of this video, you'll have actionable steps to start embracing a lighter, freer life. Why is this video worth watching until the end? Because we're not just talking about things. You'll learn how to set boundaries that protect your peace, how to shift your mindset to embrace change, and how to let go of old habits that no longer serve you. Imagine waking up each day with a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. Picture yourself surrounded by relationships that nurture you, a home that reflects who you are today, and a life filled with simple pleasures that truly nourish your soul. So, stick with us. By the end of this video, you'll not only feel empowered to let go of what's holding you back, but also ready to embrace a more joyful, peaceful, and abundant future. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Physical clutter. As we journey through life, the objects we accumulate along the way begin to tell a story. Each item, from the furniture that once sat proudly in the living room to the worn-out sweater that has seen better days, carries with it memories, emotions, and the essence of who we once were. I've often found myself pausing to run my fingers over a photo album, catching my breath as I relive those moments that seem both so distant and so dear. A box of letters tucked away in a dusty corner transports me back to times I hold close to my heart, and even an old chair, creaky and faded, whispers stories of countless conversations and laughter shared. These objects become more than just things. They become pieces of our identity. But as the years pass, the sheer volume of items we've collected can begin to feel overwhelming. What once felt like treasures now starts to transform into burdens, quietly weighing down our homes, our minds, and even our spirits. When we reach a certain age, particularly after 70, it's time to have a heart-to-heart with ourselves. I believe it's vital to ask, are these belongings adding value to my life today, or have they simply become space fillers, forgotten remnants of who I used to be? Some things, without a doubt, deserve to be kept, those precious few that continue to hold significance. A photograph that reminds you of a life-changing trip, a family heirloom passed down through generations, or the favorite chair where you've spent hours reading, those items have earned their place. But there's so much more that can be released, so much that no longer serves its original purpose. The second set of dishes gathering dust in the cupboard, the piles of magazines stacking up like forgotten memories, or the attic overflowing with forgotten treasures. These are the things that are quietly asking to be let go. Letting go of physical clutter isn't about erasing the past or dismissing what once held meaning. Rather, it's about making peace with our journey and allowing space for the present and future. It's about giving yourself the gift of breathing room, both literally and emotionally. When I first began the process, I started small, with 1 drawer and 1 box in the basement. But soon, the act of sifting through these items became more than just clearing up space. It became a reflection of who I was now, who I wanted to be, and how I wanted my life to feel. It's not easy, though. It requires vulnerability, a willingness to acknowledge that certain things no longer fit the life we're leading. It's painful at times, but the sense of release that follows is nothing short of liberating. As you sort through your belongings, ask yourself, what still brings joy to my life? Which items have become nothing more than excess, draining my energy? The difference can be subtle, but it's there. Letting go isn't about being ruthless, It's about being intentional. Imagine how much lighter your home would feel, both physically and emotionally, without all the unnecessary clutter. More space means more room for the things that truly matter. Whether it's a quiet moment with a loved one, a cherished hobby, or simply the freedom to enjoy your surroundings. And in letting go, there's an opportunity to make a meaningful difference in someone else's life. The items that no longer serve you could breathe new life into others. That old dresser you've been holding on to might be the perfect addition to a young couple's new home. Those books you once read could inspire a new generation. Donating items can feel like an act of giving, a way to create a ripple of goodwill and share the joy these things once brought you. At the end of the day, the goal is to create a home that is a true reflection of who you are today, not who you were decades ago. A simpler space, yet infinitely richer in meaning. When you step into a room where everything has its place, where every item serves a purpose, there's a sense of calm that washes over you. The peace that comes with letting go is profound. It's not just about tidying up, it's a metaphor for life itself. It's about releasing the old to make room for the new, shedding the weight that drags us down so that we can rediscover the things that lift us. In a world that can often feel overwhelming, creating a sanctuary within your home is one of the most powerful acts of self-care you can offer yourself. Your home, your heart, and your mind deserve the freedom to embrace the beauty and joy of every moment ahead. 2. Toxic relationships. Life, especially in the later years, is a precious gift, one that should not be wasted on toxic relationships that drain your energy or shroud your world with negativity. At 70, you've experienced a lifetime of relationships. Some of them warm and nurturing, filled with love, understanding, and support, while others may have been clouded with conflict, resentment, or the lingering weight of obligation. This is the time to reflect deeply on the connections that fill your days and assess whether they add to your well-being or rob you of the peace you so richly deserve. Toxic relationships, in all their forms, can be incredibly insidious. They can manifest in a variety of ways. Perhaps there's that one friend who always calls just to vent about their problems, without ever offering a moment of interest in your life, your well-being. Or maybe there's a family member whose presence constantly makes you feel small, unimportant, or like you're constantly walking on eggshells. In some of the most painful relationships, the toxicity doesn't come from anger or insults but from indifference. It's the quiet ache of being made to feel invisible, unworthy, or as though your presence doesn't even matter. Over time, these kinds of connections chip away at your sense of self-worth and can rob you of your joy. You find yourself doubting your value, asking if you're even worthy of respect or kindness. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But I've come to believe that life is far too short to spend in relationships that do not nurture or uplift you. Choosing to let go of toxic relationships isn't about harboring resentment or seeking revenge. It's about showing yourself the love and respect you deserve. It's about acknowledging that you are worthy of peace, kindness, and respect in every interaction, especially now that you've reached a point in life where you've earned the right to live free from the shackles of emotional pain. When you step back from toxic relationships or set firm boundaries, you're not being selfish, you are being courageous. You are standing up for your emotional health, declaring that your well-being comes first. And yes, it's difficult. These relationships may have been part of your life for decades, woven into the fabric of your history, or maybe entangled with family dynamics that carry their weight of guilt, expectation, and fear. It's natural to worry about how others will feel or the judgment you may face. But I assure you, setting boundaries isn't selfish. It is an act of profound self-respect. Letting go of toxic relationships doesn't necessarily mean cutting someone out of your life entirely. Sometimes it's about redefining those connections. It might mean spending less time with certain individuals, or changing the nature of your interactions. Keeping conversations light, neutral, or limited to topics that don't open old wounds. This approach can help you reclaim control over your relationships, ensuring they no longer erode your sense of self or peace. Imagine the freedom that comes from being surrounded only by people who uplift and encourage you. Visualize a life that's filled with authentic laughter, heartfelt conversations, and quiet companionships that leave you feeling loved and appreciated. That is the gift you give yourself when you choose to release toxic relationships. Space for true love, kindness, and connection. The relationships you nurture now should align with your values, with the joy, peace, and fulfillment you deserve. You've spent a lifetime learning the lessons of life, and you've earned the right to spend your golden years in the company of those who see you for who you truly are, and who celebrate you for it. It is never too late to rewrite the story of your relationships, to seek out love that nourishes you, and to protect the tranquility you've so carefully cultivated. Life is too short, and you are too valuable to settle for anything less than the peace you deserve. 3. Unnecessary responsibilities. As the years unfold and you step into the golden chapter of your life, there is an undeniable urge to pause and reflect on all that you've carried with you through the decades. Responsibilities, for most of us, have been a constant companion. From raising children and managing careers, to pouring our time and energy into our communities, these duties have often shaped who we are. They were the threads that wove the fabric of our lives. But as we gracefully age and enter our 70s, there's a pressing question that we must ask ourselves. Are these responsibilities still serving me, filling me with purpose and joy, or have they quietly evolved into burdens that drain my energy, leaving me feeling overwhelmed and weary? Unnecessary responsibilities have a way of slipping into our lives unnoticed. They begin as small, seemingly harmless commitments, but soon grow into heavy chains that weigh us down. Maybe you've become the unspoken pillar in your family, the one everyone turns to when there's a problem, even though it's no longer your role. You might still be keeping up with traditions or obligations simply out of habit, long after they've stopped adding value to your life. Or perhaps you continue to maintain a large home or garden, a space that once filled you with pride but now feels like a constant task that steals your time and peace. These responsibilities, often born of love or loyalty, can slowly chip away at your energy and leave you with little for yourself. Letting go of these unnecessary duties is not a declaration of abandonment or neglect. It's an act of honoring yourself, a decision to shift your focus toward the things that truly bring you joy, fulfillment, and peace. It's a deeply personal choice that can stir up a wave of emotions. For example, if caring for a sprawling property has become more of a chore than a source of pride, consider downsizing to a more manageable space. Doing so will free up time for you to savor life's simple pleasures. Time to read a book you've been meaning to dive into, or to go for a walk in the park, feeling the breeze on your face. If family members have come to rely on you for everything, it's okay. No, it's necessary to gently set boundaries. It's not about withdrawing your love. It's about encouraging them to step up, to find their strength, just as you've had to do in your own life. Letting go, though, can stir up guilt. For years, perhaps even decades, you've defined yourself by your ability to care for others, to solve their problems and bear their burdens. It's hard to shift that narrative, to let go of the responsibility that has long been a part of your identity. But what you must remember is this. Stepping back doesn't mean you care any less. It means you've finally recognized that your well-being matters too. The weight of these responsibilities, when lifted, can make room for a new kind of peace. Picture yourself waking up in the morning, free from the endless to-do list. There's no pressure to meet someone's needs or check off a dozen tasks. Your time is your own, and you can spend it as you see fit. Whether it's indulging in a quiet cup of coffee with a friend, exploring a new hobby, or simply sitting in silence, feeling the stillness of the day, it's all yours. Imagine the joy of being fully present in these moments, without the tug of unfinished obligations. Life after 70 should feel like a celebration of all the rich experiences you've had, the lessons learned, and the wisdom you've gathered. It should be a time of embracing the joy that still resides in your heart, a time to focus on what nourishes your soul. By releasing those unnecessary responsibilities, you open the door to a simpler, more intentional life, where your energy is dedicated to what truly matters. This is not just about practicality. It's about giving yourself the gift of freedom. It's about stepping into this next phase of life with a heart full of possibility and a spirit ready to embrace the things that make you feel alive. After all, you've earned this. You've spent so many years caring for others, keeping the world turning for those around you. Now, it's time to focus on your happiness, your peace, and the quiet joy that comes from doing what you love. Letting go of unnecessary responsibilities is not an act of selfishness. It's a celebration of self-care, a reward you've more than earned after a lifetime of giving. 4. Negative self-talk and regrets. As you enter your 70s, life offers you a rare and beautiful gift, a profound opportunity to pause and reflect on the rich, complex tapestry of your experiences. It's a moment to look back on the joys, the challenges, the victories, and even the mistakes that have sculpted you into the person you are today. These chapters of your life, no matter how messy or imperfect, are what has led you to this moment of self-awareness and wisdom. Yet, so often, it feels as if lingering regrets and that harsh inner voice of negative self-talk threaten to cloud this reflection, stealing the peace and self-compassion that you truly deserve. Regrets, like quiet shadows, seem to follow us even in the brightest moments. They sneak up on you, tapping into that vulnerable place within, reminding you of paths not taken and opportunities missed. You may find yourself thinking about the career you never pursued, that dream that you never chased with the vigor it deserved, or the relationships that didn't turn out as you once hoped. The what-ifs linger, playing on repeat in your mind, convincing you that your life could have been perfect if only you had done things differently. But let me tell you this, life is never about perfection. It's about the beautiful mess of growth, of stumbling and rising again, of learning from every choice, and of embracing the person you become because of those experiences. It's about realizing that even the mistakes, the failures, and the regrets hold something valuable. They shaped your resilience, your wisdom, and your heart. And then there's negative self-talk, perhaps one of the cruelest thieves of joy. It creeps into your mind like a whispering shadow, telling you, you should have done better, you didn't try hard enough, or you don't deserve happiness after all that you've done. Those harsh words become like a second skin, woven so deeply into your perception of yourself that you might forget you have the power to challenge them. But I ask you, would you ever speak to a loved one with such unkindness, such disregard for their worth and dignity? If not, why would you allow yourself to be spoken to that way? You, who have lived a life of courage and resilience, facing joys and heartaches alike. You have walked through fire, and you've come out stronger each time. You deserve to speak to yourself with the same tenderness, care, and compassion that you so freely give to others. Releasing your regrets and silencing that inner critic isn't about pretending the mistakes never happened or pretending they didn't matter. No, it's about offering yourself forgiveness. A forgiveness that isn't a mere act of kindness but a powerful act of liberation. It's freeing yourself from the shackles of should have and could have, and choosing to move forward with a light heart, instead of one burdened by a past that no longer serves you. It's about letting go of that heavy weight and realizing that it's not the mistakes that define you, it's how you rise from them. To break free from these inner critics, start by changing the narrative you've been telling yourself. Instead of focusing on all that went wrong, begin to celebrate the courage it took to make the decisions you made, whether or not they led to the perfect outcome. You made those choices with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. That, in itself, is a mark of strength. Reflect on the wisdom you've gained from every misstep, every setback. It's through these very struggles that you've developed the insight and resilience that now fill your heart and mind. These are not failures. They are chapters in your personal growth story. Embrace them. Honor them. And just as important, learn to embrace the present moment. Regret keeps you tethered to the past, while negative self-talk blinds you to the beauty and potential of today. Allow yourself to live fully in this moment. Take time to nurture mindfulness. Perhaps you can begin journaling your thoughts, meditating for a few minutes, or even sitting quietly in nature, letting the peace of the world around you seep into your soul. These moments of presence are your chance to reconnect with the life unfolding around you right now, reminding you that the past is merely a shadow unless you choose to let it control your present. You can choose joy, peace, and fulfillment, no matter where you've been or what you've done. Letting go of regrets and self-criticism is not only an act of compassion, it's an act of reclaiming your narrative. It's deciding that your life is not a collection of mistakes, but rather a journey marked by resilience, learning, and, above all, love. When you grant yourself grace, you create space for peace and contentment to flourish. You deserve this. You've earned the right to live with a heart unburdened by the past, ready to embrace the joys, the growth, and the fulfillment still waiting for you ahead. Embrace that future with an open heart, knowing that no matter where life takes you, you are enough just as you are. 5. Unhealthy habits. As the years pass, there's a beautiful, often humbling realization that the little choices we make each day have a lasting impact on the quality of our lives. By the time you've entered your 70s, your body has carried you through a lifetime of experiences. Heartbreaks, triumphs, challenges, and blessings, and now it asks for the care and attention that it has so selflessly given you in return. Yet, how often do we find ourselves still holding on to unhealthy habits, even though we know, deep down, they are quietly stealing away our joy, our vitality, and our inner peace? These habits are often the ones we justify to ourselves, ignore, or feel powerless to change. But they don't just sneak in, they accumulate over time, like a slow leak draining the energy from our lives. It's important to recognize that unhealthy habits aren't limited to the obvious realms like diet, exercise, or sleep. They weave themselves into the very fabric of our daily routines. We might skip meals because we're too busy, opting for something quick and unhealthy, or avoid physical activity out of fear or comfort, staying sedentary even when our body yearns for movement. The very act of neglecting those annual medical checkups, which may feel inconvenient or unnecessary, can compound over time, leading to bigger health issues. And then, there's the emotional side of things. Unhealthy habits don't just affect our bodies, they invade our minds and hearts too. Holding on to constant worry, immersing ourselves in the negativity of the news, or isolating ourselves from others because we don't want to burden anyone. These patterns, though often invisible to the eye, take root deep within us. They become so much a part of our lives that we sometimes can't imagine life without them. But here's the truth: they are not inevitable. They don't have to define our later years. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The beauty of aging is that it brings the opportunity for change, for renewal, no matter how long a habit has been ingrained. Change is always possible, and the power to make that change lies within you. The first step is reflecting deeply on your habits. Are they truly serving you, or are they simply things you've gotten used to because they feel easy? Instead of skipping breakfast or relying on processed foods that do little for your health, what if you took the time to prepare something nourishing, like a warm bowl of oatmeal or a fresh piece of fruit? Instead of spending all day sitting, could you move your body, even if it's just a short walk around the block or some gentle stretches? And when it comes to mental well-being, instead of letting the news and its constant barrage of negativity weigh heavily on your heart, could you redirect your focus? Perhaps spend that time listening to uplifting music, reading a good book, or connecting with a loved one whose presence lifts you. Changing long-held habits isn't easy, and it's important to treat yourself with compassion during this journey. It's okay if progress is slow. It doesn't need to happen overnight. The key is to celebrate the small victories along the way, and trust me, they matter. Whether it's choosing a healthier snack, adding a few extra steps to your walk, or making sure you're getting enough rest each night, these small adjustments are like seeds planted in fertile soil. Over time, they will grow into something beautiful. They will create a ripple effect of wellness, touching every aspect of your life. And here's something easy to forget. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a powerful step toward strength. Whether you reach out to a doctor, a nutritionist, a therapist, or even a friend to walk with, you are making the journey towards healthier habits that much more manageable and enjoyable. You don't have to face this transformation alone. Now, just take a moment and imagine the freedom that comes from embracing these changes. Picture yourself waking up each day with a little more energy, feeling stronger and more alive. Visualize yourself doing the things you love, whether it's walking through a park, reading a book, or spending time with those who make your heart happy. Picture the pride you'll feel knowing that you've invested in your health, that you've taken control of your body and mind. Letting go of unhealthy habits isn't about feeling regret for the past. It's about hope. It's about your future. It's about recognizing the immense worth of your body and mind and treating them with the respect, care, and kindness they deserve. In the end, the decision to choose healthier habits isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. It's about living with joy, vitality, and an overwhelming sense of gratitude for every precious moment, no matter how old you get. 6. Outdated beliefs. As we journey through life, we accumulate beliefs that guide us, protect us, and help us make sense of the world. These beliefs are like old companions that walk beside us, sometimes offering comfort, and sometimes offering direction. But as time goes on, some of these beliefs, those that once gave us a sense of security or purpose, no longer fit the person we've become or the path we wish to take. Especially as we grow older, it's vital to pause and take a good, honest look at these beliefs we've held onto for years, maybe even decades. Are they still serving us, or have they become invisible walls that keep us from truly embracing this rich, beautiful chapter of life? By the time you reach your 70s, life has a way of showing you the truth. Some beliefs no longer have the power to protect or guide you. Maybe you were once taught that aging was a slow, inevitable decline, that you'd eventually fade away or lose yourself. Perhaps there was a time when you thought you were too old to try new things, or maybe you believed that asking for help was a sign of weakness, not wisdom. These limiting beliefs often grow out of societal expectations or messages from our upbringing. Perhaps you felt pressure to always prioritize others before yourself, or that change was something to fear because it disrupts the comfort zone we've built over the years. But here's the thing. These outdated beliefs are not who you are, not anymore. You have the power to change your perspective at any stage of life. You are not confined to the beliefs you grew up with. Releasing old beliefs isn't about rejecting everything that came before. It's about respecting your journey, honoring the wisdom you've gained, and using that knowledge to build a life that feels true to who you are now. Think about the stories you tell yourself daily. Are they filled with possibility, or do they carry the weight of self-imposed limits? If you tell yourself, "I'm too old to learn this," pause and think about how many people in their 70s, 80s, or even beyond are thriving by diving into new technology, enrolling in classes, or reconnecting with the world in ways they never thought possible. If you think it's too late for change, ask yourself, what have I already navigated in my life that I once thought impossible? When we start to question these outdated beliefs, we open ourselves to the beauty of the unknown. The idea that growth ends with age couldn't be further from the truth. It's quite the opposite. The older we get, the more life has to offer. There is always something new to explore, something exciting to experience, or a way to grow deeper in connection with those around us. Think about it. What would it feel like to walk into the next phase of your life with the mindset of, "I'm not too old, but instead, I am open to what the world still has in store for me"? Imagine replacing "I can't" with "I'll try" or "It's too late" with "Now is the perfect time." The feeling of liberation in that shift is profound. It's like taking a deep breath after holding it for far too long. This shift doesn't just inspire a sense of vitality. It reconnects you to a purpose and energy that may have felt buried for some time. It reminds you that every moment, no matter the age, offers a new opportunity for growth, joy, and fulfillment. And this isn't some vague dream or lofty ideal. It's real, tangible, and achievable. Letting go of outdated beliefs is one of the greatest acts of self-love you can offer yourself. It's a beautiful way of shedding the unnecessary burdens of unrealistic expectations and stepping into the freedom to live life on your terms. It's about embracing the truth that your potential is not bound by the past, but by the limitless opportunities still ahead. As you embrace this freedom, you honor not just the experiences and wisdom of the years gone by, but also the incredible, untapped potential of the years still waiting for you. Each moment from here on out is another chance to redefine your life, to rewrite the narrative, and to live with a heart full of possibility. And let me tell you, that's the most empowering thing we can do for ourselves as we age. 7. Financial worries that no longer apply. As you reach your 70s, a new chapter in your life unfolds, one that is built upon the foundation of decades of hard work, sacrifices, and careful financial planning. For so many, this journey has been long and arduous, saving diligently, making tough choices, and sacrificing small comforts for a larger goal. Perhaps these habits were born out of years of financial struggle, raising children, or simply preparing for a future that once felt uncertain. And while those efforts were necessary then, it's essential to pause and reflect. Do these lingering financial worries still hold the same weight, or have they simply become an anchor, tying you to a past that no longer serves you? Are they preventing you from enjoying the peace and freedom you've earned through years of hard work and perseverance? For many, financial anxieties can stretch far beyond their usefulness. It's a challenge to let go of the old ways, especially when frugality and caution have been ingrained in your habits for so long. You may find yourself hesitating to spend money on things that could bring joy or comfort simply because of those old, familiar fears. What if something unexpected happens? What if I run out? What if I become a burden to my loved ones? These are valid concerns, and it's wise to stay mindful of your resources. But there's a fine line between being prudent and living in a constant state of fear, one that doesn't allow you to embrace the present moment or fully enjoy the fruits of your labor. This is the perfect time to take a step back and assess your financial situation from a place of clarity, confidence, and trust in the decisions you've made over the years. If you've spent your life preparing for this stage, it's time to lean into that preparation and let go of the anxiety that no longer has a place. Working with a financial advisor you trust can provide a sense of security, knowing that your resources are properly managed. Let go of the nagging what-if thoughts that cloud your peace of mind. Instead, replace that worry with the empowering reality of having a solid plan in place. It's about trusting in your ability to make sound choices, not driven by fear, but by knowledge and a deep understanding of your current situation. Money, after all, is a tool, not a goal. It's meant to enhance your life and bring comfort, joy, and the freedom to do what you love. Picture yourself using it to create beautiful memories with your family, indulge in hobbies you've always wanted to explore or travel, and see the world through new eyes. Perhaps it's something as simple as investing in a comfortable chair for your home or treating yourself to a meal out with close friends. These are not luxuries or indulgences. They are vital investments in your well-being, in your happiness, and in the legacy you'll leave. It's time to view spending not as an act of waste, but as a means to enrich the life you've spent so many years building. Releasing unnecessary financial worry doesn't mean abandoning responsibility. It means trusting in the wisdom you've accumulated over the years and embracing the fact that the value of money lies not in how much you can save, but in how you can use it to create a life full of meaning, joy, and connection. You've worked tirelessly for decades. Now is the time to reap the rewards of your dedication. Picture the freedom that comes with letting go of the constant weight of what if and choosing to live with gratitude instead. It's about making decisions from a place of abundance, not scarcity. This mindset shift can bring immense relief. It can open up new doors to experiences you've longed for but felt you couldn't afford. It brings an appreciation for the people in your life and the small, beautiful moments that make living so precious. It's the gift of choosing joy over fear, connection over isolation, and freedom over worry. In letting go of unnecessary financial worries, you reclaim your time, your energy, and most importantly, your joy. You allow yourself to focus on what truly matters, the people you love, the moments you cherish, and the peace that comes from knowing you've done your best. This isn't about reckless spending, but about understanding that your resources are here to serve you, not to restrict you. You've earned this freedom, and now it's time to embrace it. This is the time to savor life, appreciate the blessings that surround you, and live with the understanding that you've worked hard for everything you have. This chapter in life, your chapter, deserves to be lived with nothing less than the fullness of freedom, peace, and joy. 8. Fear of change. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. As we age, change often feels like an unwelcome stranger, knocking on our door at a time when we long for comfort, stability, and familiarity. By the time you reach your 70s, the thought of change can stir up deep feelings of uncertainty, anxiety, and even fear. In a world that has become predictable, where routines and surroundings offer solace, the unknown can feel like a daunting abyss that we may be hesitant to step into. But here's a profound truth. Change is not your enemy. It is, in fact, the gateway to growth, healing, and renewal. In our later years, embracing change can be one of the most powerful, liberating, and transformative choices we can make. The fear of change often stems from a deep-rooted desire to cling to what feels safe and known, even when what we are holding onto no longer serves us. Whether it's the thought of downsizing a long-time home, grappling with new technology that seems impossible to master, or adjusting to physical changes that seem inevitable with aging, the resistance to change is completely understandable. It is human nature to seek comfort and avoid discomfort, especially in later life. Yet, while it's natural to feel this resistance, holding on to the past can close the door to the countless possibilities that lie ahead. Every change, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, carries within it a seed of opportunity. An invitation to rediscover who you are, connect with others in ways you never imagined, and even shape a life that is more aligned with who you are today, not who you were yesterday. Releasing the grip on fear begins with shifting our perspective. Instead of focusing on what you're losing, turn your gaze to what you stand to gain. Yes, downsizing might mean parting with cherished possessions, but it can also offer freedom from maintenance and more time to do what truly makes your soul sing. Learning a new skill or taking up an activity you never thought possible can open unexpected doors to joy, adventure, and connection. Change is not a threat to your autonomy. It's a rediscovery of your ability to adapt, to thrive, and to grow, even when the ground beneath you feels unfamiliar. Imagine the sweet release that comes with welcoming change instead of fearing it. Envision yourself stepping into new experiences with the curiosity of a child, your heart wide open, filled with the wisdom that has carried you through so much already. In this chapter of life, each new experience is an opportunity to create new memories, find joy in places you'd never expect, and embrace peace in the simplest moments. Letting go of the fear of change isn't just about adjusting to the practicalities of life. It's about reclaiming your birthright to live fully, unapologetically, and with profound freedom. Life after 70 is an invitation to strip away what no longer serves you, to let go of the weight of the past, and to bask in the beauty of simplicity, independence, and fulfillment. It is a time to welcome change not as a burden but as a gift, one that brings joy, rejuvenation, and a deeper connection to the person you've become. As we reflect on everything we've discussed today, I want to ask you, what have you learned so far? Change is inevitable, but it's also a chance for growth, renewal, and embracing new opportunities. Whether it's downsizing, learning something new, or simply releasing old fears, change can truly transform our lives for the better. I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you're going to bring into your own life moving forward? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave your comment, like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on more content designed to help you live your best life. Thanks for watching, and remember, change is not something to fear, it's something to embrace.